click on Default To at the top of the screen. This area shows default general ledger accounts for things that relate to commissions and escrow. Verify that each of the options is set to the correct account. The first two options, Agent Commission Expense Account and Commission Checking Account, set the default general ledger and checking account for all agent commissions. Changes to individual agent records can be made in Agent Information under the Properties tab. The next option sets the GL account for undeposited funds in receivables and should be set to the account bearing that name. Invoice Credit Account is the default account for the charges on your invoices. Select the account that will be used the most. The next two accounts are for escrow liability, debit, and credit. They should both be set to the account for escrow liability. Default lead fee for buyer and seller can be set to automatically add a lead fee deduction to transactions with company leads. If you do not charge lead fees, then set these options to none. The same thing applies to the next options, default referral deductions. Typically, these will be filled with professional referral fee, so that the system will add those deductions to transactions with referrals. Default commission percent sets the total percent that is taken off the sales price for commission. It can be overridden within each transaction, but initially defaults to the percent set here. The last option is default escrow account, which sets the escrow account used most often. The next tab, SPR, sets up the paper seller progress report that is printed out of ProGold. The letter text appears before the progress activity. The options at the bottom determine how often these letters should go out and if the agents are billed for each letter sent. If you do not plan on printing and mailing progress reports, then skip this tab. List 1 includes the setup of several drop-downs within ProGold. In the bottom left corner, you'll see Default Progress Report Activity that was previously discussed. The rest of the items in this list pertain to contacts and will be discussed further during the topic on Contact Manager Professional. The next tab, List 2, sets some miscellaneous drop-downs. In the upper left corner is the setup for two custom fields. These are extra fields found in Work with Properties that allow you to customize their header and the contents of the drop-down list. If there is something you'd like to track on a property and there is no field for it, you can utilize these fields. MLS Boards is in the bottom right corner, and that pertains to the MLS import, which will fill in automatically when the import is used. The other two options pertain to contacts and will be discussed in that topic. Next is the Security tab, where user accounts are created for ProGold and restriction is set for each login. This will be discussed in more detail during the topic on database default settings. VML is a tab that pertains to ViewMyListing.com and will be used during its setup. Miscellaneous sets up some data options, but there is nothing that needs to be set up at this time. Certain options may be set up during the discussion of later topics. Click Done in the bottom right corner to close this screen and return to the Setup menu. Commission Plan Setup. First, we will go into the Commission Plan icon in the Properties menu to view what is in there by default. The plan that appears first is the first plan in the system and is considered the default plan. At the bottom of the screen, you will see that it is record 1 of 2. Right now, it is called Schedule A and is an example of a one-level plan. The bottom of range is 0, the top of range is 100 million, and the split is always 50%. If you scroll to the next plan by clicking on the arrow in the bottom left corner, you'll find Schedule B, which shows a graduated plan with multiple levels of percentages. Each level has a bottom and top of range to tell the system what percentages to use. In the upper right corner, you'll see a type that specifies what the levels are based on. In this case, the levels are based on company earnings, which means the amount of money the agent has made the company determines what percentage is used in calculating their commission. When the ranges are entered, they need to be counted to the penny. For example, The top of the first level is $15,000. So the bottom of the next level should be $15,001. The top of the last level should be an extremely high number that the agent will not get to. Otherwise, ProGold will give them 0%. The list side and sell side show the percentages used if both sides of the transaction are in-house. The co-op list and co-op sell percentages are used if only one side is in-house. If you'd like to encourage deals where your company has both sides, then you can pay them a higher percentage for in-house deals. The percentage entered in this screen is the percentage that the agent receives. Depending on what your plan is, you may either alter this plan to match what you currently use, or keep it the way it is. Every part of the existing plans can be altered to mirror your company plans. Therefore, edit the Schedule A plan to represent what your default plan would be. You can add new levels at the bottom, or delete extra levels by clicking on the red X to the left of each level. If you have more than 2 plans, you can click the New at the bottom of the screen, and it will bring up a blank form to add additional plans. When you're finished making changes, hit the Save button at the bottom of the screen, and click Done to return to the Properties menu. Ensure that the bank accounts and commission plans are completed before moving on to Topic 3. If you have any questions regarding this topic, contact Tarot Systems Enhancement HelpNet Center at support@tarotnetwork.com.